What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So ImageLine recently released FL Studio version 24, and along with that came some seriously good new features. But what I want to focus on in this video is the new chord generation tool. I saw that in some corners of the producer and FL Studio community, this new tool, or the announcement of this new tool, once it was revealed to be part of a future update, was a little bit controversial. So on one side, people are arguing that this is sort of a cheat code to cheat music theory, and the people who have invested lots of time and energy in learning music theory may feel sort of cheated that now there's this shortcut available by default in your digital audio workstation, and it just makes writing music easier. But fact is that there have already been plenty of plugins and add-ons that do this sort of thing, so it's not really anything new. It's new to FL Studio, and it might have some features that may or may not be present in other VSTs, but the idea behind it is not a new principle. And I share the sentiment of the other side of the argument actually, which is that this makes music creation and production a lot more accessible. So that's my take on the situation, but the whole point of this video is when I learned of this chord generation tool, I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was cool and I was looking forward to playing with it a bit. But then actually having it available with the public release of FL Studio 24, my instant thought was that this isn't just a chords or ARP tool. I see it more as a MIDI and another sound generation or manipulation tool that has a bit more broader purpose than just chords or ARPs. I see the word chord in its name as merely its suggestion. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's hop in FL Studio and I'll show you what I mean.
Okay, let's go.
So here we are in FL Studio, and this is basically my second session after FL Studio 24 came out. The first one jammed out on some chords with the chord progression generation tool there. So this is a chord progression tool, but it manipulates MIDI and gives you a lot of different options to manipulate MIDI. And of course you can do arpeggios and chops and all kinds of different interesting things, and even create melodies with this tool. But what really kind of interested me was using it in different ways, like resampling audio through SliceX or FPC or any kind of sampler. So I started with this little thing, which is nothing too impressive, but it kind of got the juices flowing a little bit to think in that direction. I ran that through the chord generation tool, and the cool thing is these little blocks that you create in the chord manipulation tool, chord progression tool. When you grab one part, you can move them all at once around. You can instantly kind of change what slices get played and so forth. But of course, you know, that's one thing you can do and just go on a tangent on and get some really cool progressions, sounds, and resample your own sound. Then I had this little go here at this little 8-bar loop, so this perc groove here is resampled. I resampled some kind of drum loop that I'll show you in a second. We have this as well, which is the same audio source, just doing another little perc rhythm here. And we have this FPC drum fill, which is also created in the chord progression tool. These clips here come from the same source, and that's just a drum groove that I got off of Splice, which I've manipulated a bit as well here. And I generated these little stabs here. And so down here we also have this little kind of fill then. Basically two chord stacks, the same one offset a little bit, and brought down. The cool thing is, all of this is not like I sought out to create these kinds of things, right? I just wanted to throw the generation tool on it and kind of tweak some knobs and see what comes out of it. This is pretty cool, you know, bits like this are totally usable. This drum fill was a pretty neat idea, I think. We have a little bit more happening here. I have the arpeggiator on as well. Otherwise it sounds like this. But with the arpeggiator, it then also plays through the loop a little bit in the speed dictated by the arpeggiator, of course. This clip here, I resampled the crap out of it, distorted it, vocodex is on it. Everything here is just kind of arbitrary stuff that I did to kind of get a little bit of a movement out of it and distort it. I passed the crap out of it. But there's also a little bit of, right, a little bit of ring modulation on there and the EQ turned up. That's how you have this part here. And that's from the ring modulation if I turn it off. Yeah, basically it sounds like a shaker or a hat, then with it on. It has a cool frequency. But basically that's playing around with it a little bit and seeing what kind of weird results come from it. Okay, so back in the DAW, I've prepared a couple of things. I have some drums, just a drum loop, and some vocal stuff. I've treated them and pitched them around a little bit to kind of create this broken, distorted sounding kind of thing. So yes, I am distorting the vocal with the drums together to get that kind of broken sound, and I have two slice X. One, I've thrown this Koto Japanese instrument loop in and sliced up. Pitched up by 14 semitones. Originally it sounds like that. I wanted to play it in a higher register and also have it, what am I in? I think an E flat. Or no, I think I changed it all to an F sharp. I have a percussion loop that I've also put in here. This time not pitched around, but also manipulated. Let's go ahead and throw these effects back on. Yeah, kind of cool. I like it. Disgusting frequencies if I disable that. That's really disgusting in the 2.5K range there. So I'm going to enable this dynamic EQ band. And it tames it. You can even see that it's not even going to the red anymore. So, our very beginning, we have literally just these 4 chords. And what I am going to do is actually extend the count to 8. And so we have 8 chords. Just hit the dice and generate a few times, get something more random. We'll go to ARP, and I just like to start off somewhere random. This is all just random choices that I'm making. So that sounds like a riff to me. It's a good starting point. Go ahead and do the similar procedure. We have, the cool thing about this is that this tool remembers your last chords. Our percussion follows the same pattern, therefore it's also gonna already kind of fit with the other riff that we've made. It kind of works together. Yeah, I kind of dig that. Yeah. So that's that. Nothing more to say. Bye.